Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Knives Effect podcast. I am your host, Naveen Kanglani. I know we took a little bit of a break the last week. Well deserved break, I would say. We've been podcasting consistently, but we are back, and basketball action will be heating up sooner than later here in the Philippines. We've got the UAAP going on. We're near the Final Four. The PBA Finals is going on. We've got the FIBA games coming up. We even have EASL coming up sometime this month in November 13th to be specific. And back to the college basketball side of things, the NCAA is also going on. So there's a lot to discuss for this episode, though. We're going to talk about what went down in UAP basketball action this past weekend. A big upset that took place, and a team that looked like a sure Final Four squad suddenly going through some struggles. Anything to be concerned about? Well, we'll find out. We're going to have six-man podcast Nico Rocha on, a familiar guest of the show, to discuss what's been going on in college basketball. And then if he makes it in time, I think he will. After he's practiced, NU's Pat Yu will be joining the episode to discuss about their big victory this past weekend and what the plans might be moving forward for the Bulldogs, as they've been hit with a peculiar and interesting season early on, and it seems like they're still fighting to make something out of their journey in UAP season 87. Can't wait to talk more about that with both Pat and Nico. But first, let's hear from our friends over at Finn Cotton.
I want to say congratulations on all your success.
Congrats to Finn Cotton Sneaker.
Para sa lahat ng mga kababayan natin dyan, Disenyong Pinoy.
Disenyo ng Pinoy para sa Pinoy. Dinisenyo ng Pinoy para sa Pinoy.
Dinisenyo ng Pinoy para sa Pinoy.
Disenyong Pinoy para sa mga Pinoy.
One of the best seller nila sa Fin Cotton, napaka-quality.
Napakasarap po sa paa. Halos parang natutulog lang yung mga hinlalaki ko sa paa. The best. Fin Cotton is the best policy. Nobody's perfect.
Okay, we're now joined by Nico Rocha, who is sporting a new look with the glasses and a new hairstyle as
Kakaligo ko
well.
lang. Kakaligo ko lang. Hindi ko lang
Well,
nasbuko.
we are now here talking about college basketball once again. Nico, so my first question to you: bigger surprise, UP and their blowout defeat against NU, or UE suddenly forgetting to shoot a basketball in their last two losses against Adamson and then FEU, two teams below them in the Final Four race, trying to claim one of the spots they currently own, because LaSalle and UP are guaranteed the Final Four spots. UE, the current four team in that list, UST not yet. So what's been more shocking so far?
Definitely it's the UP versus NU game. UP losing to NU by 20. There were already signs na they've been starting slow against Adamson. But this game against NU was the what I call it, is their F game. If we're gonna grade it from A to F, it's really an F. I mean, everything that's supposed to go wrong went wrong. Turnovers, check. Free throws, check. Field goal percent shooting, ababa din, I think 27%. So, even 8 assists. So, tapos they only scored 47. So, parang, diba, that they held Ateneo to 45 last game. So, they only bested that by 2 points. And that's why it's really shocking, because of nobody had this on their bingo card. Losing against the quote-unquote the worst team on paper. I won't call them the worst team naman talaga, kasi the UAP in a way is very balanced. At least yung 3 to 8, very balanced. With regards to na, if only they had like an FSA, like say NU, who knows, right? What if FEU won one of the games during the first round? Nasan sila ngayon? Ang daming mga what ifs. So anyway, while for the UE versus FEU games, I think for that one, I just to go through it para pasadahan na lang natin na UE is a would you say I would say na may pagka-complacent with regards to where they are right now. Siguro they're too focused on, oh, ba, one win na lang, sure na tayo sa Final Four and thinking na natalo naman natin to last round, we should do the same. But I'm sure na not 100%, it's not 100% na complacency, but it's definitely a big factor on why they're suddenly in a skid. And to complete my point, siguro yung 3-point shooting rin nila has crashed back to earth. Crashing back down, yeah.
I think with UE in particular, the shooting has been really bad the last two games. No, they
Mm.
shot below 30% from the field both times. First against Adamson, and then also in their next game against FEU, which we're just discussing, and we'll go more into later. First, I want to get to the UP game. So I was showing the stats just a moment ago here on the screen, and something stand out. That was the lowest scoring output UP had in a game since 2016. Obviously, the lowest scoring output in the Golden Monteverde era. 30 turnovers, the most for any team this UAAP season so far. The most, okay? That's not just UP, that's any UAAP team. NU capitalized on
Sama
that.
ng 30, bro. Sama ng 30 talaga.
Sobra, it's so bad. And when we look at the stats a little more here, let me get that back up. But the shooting was particularly bad for UP as well. Nico, like I think the zone defenses the teams are starting to employ against the Fighting Maroons, I wouldn't say it's working per se, na it's absolutely shutting down their offense because we know UP can get hot. But I think teams are trying to employ this strategy now where it's okay, we know they're really good in the paint. We know they can score inside with guys like QMB, with Francis, with all their length, all their size. Even JD, Jerry, these are guys who can get in the paint and score. So let's try to limit them more to 3-point shots. Like let's see if they can beat us with outside shots. Because one, I think that also that doesn't stop Francis Lopez, but it neutralizes some of his best strengths because we know that if Francis is attacking the rim, he's going to get fouled or he's going to make a layup, he's going to make a dunk. But if you force him to be an outside shooter, you give yourself a better chance. So, and you started with the man, and then this is a Coach Jeff Napa mentor defense, so you know they're going to be good. So they started with a man, then they shifted to a zone. They did a matchup zone, man zone. They had like different hybrids of the defensive principles they were going with, kind of changing things up and not allowing UP to get comfortable. UP took 65 shot attempts from the field. 36 of those came no, sorry, 29 of those came from 3-point range, so nearly half. And I think we did a podcast episode recently where we were talking about how UP is actually efficient from 3-point range, but it's also because they take a low volume amount of 3-point
Mm.
shots, meaning they make it a point to try and attack the paint talaga. Recently, even the game against Adamson, which they won, but Adamson kept it competitive, UP has been taking more outside shots because of the zone defense that teams are employing against them. And you did it this time. And to add to the woes of UP, they got to the free throw line 24 times. They made only 9 out of 24, 37.5%, which is, you mix that with the 30 turnovers, you're not going to win many games, even against a team like NU that entered as the last place team, the UAP. And to add to those woes, 44% shooting from NU from the field, only 17 shot attempts from three, but they made seven. So they were actually using the strengths that UP uses for themselves. MU was getting to the paint, scoring in the paint. They were kicking it. They were getting the ball to Padrones, Palacelo, post up, backing down UP's big men, scoring with hook shots, scoring with drop steps, fadeaways. And then when guys were open from three, like Pat Yu, who had 17 points, he had 5 3-pointers in that game after making just one the whole season. That's a recipe for an upset, and that's what NU did. Ultimately, for you, what was the main issue for UP? And if let's say you're a UP fan, a UP faithful right now, and you're thinking, okay, this is the area we have to be concerned about long term, because some of these issues are fixable. I mean, we know the referees are calling every traveling at this point in the world, right? They want these players to travel to all parts of the world with the amount of times they're blowing their whistles. But the free throws are fixable to some degree because you can practice that. Maybe you have better luck next time. The turnovers, you can do a better job cleaning it up, maybe trying to be more mindful of the gather step that refs are being more strict about. The 3 point shots, it's hit or miss. We saw in the finals, it could be problematic if it's not going in. But to you, Nico, what's the area that you'd be concerned about long term for UP if you were nitpicking issues? Because we have to remember, there's still 9-2. There's still the second seed right now. So it's not like it's the end of the world. They still have the chance. They will probably get a twice to beat seed and probably make the finals. But if you were nitpicking, what's the long term issue you're afraid about? What would it be?
I don't know. For me, it's the more of kasi, medyo ironic pero alam nila kasi ng talented sila. Individually, these players are so good, right? Especially for UP, ang dami nilang mga off the dribble scorers, ang dami nilang mga very versatile players, and if that gets to their head na okay, I'll try beating my man, I'll try I'll be the guy to help us spearhead this comeback. Dun sila nadadali eh. It's when yun nga, team like UP tries to go outside the system, they become more predictable. That's why yung sa zone nga, diba? There are times na nakita mo na JD had to force it because in his head, siguro, iniisip niya na, it has to start with me. Diba? Minsan, which is, tama naman yung mentality, pero the decisions that he was doing with that kind of mindset led to 9 turnovers. Wherein you're supposed to be you're supposed to be the guy that calms the ship. You're supposed to be the guy to
Right the ship,
do the
make sure,
right
organize
place,
things.
right the
Yeah.
ship, organize things, pero hindi yun nangyari, unfortunately. So, very fixable, di ba? It's more of very fixable na may mga problema na it's not like a lack of talent. It's just trust the system. Do better next time. Aralin nyo yung, ano tawag dito, aralin nyo yung ginawa sa laro na to and build up from it.
Agree.
Mm.
So you're still confident in them. Like, would you say this loss against NU, does it have any concern factor at all? Or is one of those, like we call, burn the tape games na parang everything went wrong, what could possibly go wrong actually went wrong. So let's just forget about it. We know we're better than this. Because we should be fair that just a few days ago, before this contest, UP destroyed Ateneo. And Ateneo had been playing better as of late, but UP handed the Blue Eagles their worst loss in the Tab Baldwin era. And is it maybe the math is just matting in the sense that after handing Ateneo their worst loss in the Baldwin era, it evened out and then they suffered their worst loss in the Goldwyn era?
Yeah, I mean, shit happens. I mean, Hinebra had, not to bring it back to the PBA, no? Pero Hinebra had a burn the tape game that was against SMB, wherein they lost by 50 plus, and they're in the finals. So I know for certain this is a burn the tape game for UP. They were just super off the entire time. And again, hindi yun, it's really a credit to NU na puwapasok na halos lahat ng tira nila. Every move they try to get into the paint, iniitsa nilang pumapasok. Kahit sinong big man, kasi Tolabot with his weird crossovers, spin move, hook, shot, pasok pa rin. So alam mo talagang, it's just really NU's day, coupled with their preparations. That's the kind of day for UP. I'm concerned lang sa how does this affect them mentally move in the next games. How does this affect them in their game against LaSalle? Pero knowing them, it's gonna light a fire under them. I'm sure sasabunin sila sa practice. Knowing how hard they practice, I mean, it's an open secret how hard UP practices. Tagal rin na mag-practice, 3-4 hours.
5
From
hours,
what I
yeah.
know. Kulang pa, di ba? Kulang pa rin sa oras. So, in terms of what they have, they all concerned. But it's just that kailangan lang pokpokin ni na Coach Gold, Coach Tom na, guys, hindi talaga to pwede. But they're still a championship contender. Wala akong iba dun.
I was talking to a league scout recently, basically a scout for college basketball in the Philippines. And he told me this. He's like, do you notice a trend the last few seasons where UP kind of slows down towards the end of the second round? They start the season hot and then they get a little bit more tired towards the second round, because I was thinking about it, like, has that been the case for the last few years? Well, they lost to LaSalle late in the second round last season. 2 seasons ago, they lost to Ateneo late in the second round also, when Ateneo won the championship in 85. And then here they had the performance against NU. And then their next game, we should mention, is against LaSalle on Sunday, November 10. So that's going to be a major test. And by the way, this was the first game this season they lost complete, because Kagulangan didn't play against LaSalle. But here he played against NU and they still fell to the Bulldogs. Someone told me, the scout told me, not really told me, but asked me, like, all these intense long practices that they have from the off season leading up to the season, is it tiring the players? Is it making them a little more exhausted towards the latter parts of the season? Now, yes, Felicilda did not play, thanks to Akio for mentioning that. We should also mention that UP changed their strength and conditioning program, I think, entering the
Oh,
season.
they did?
They're now coached by Coach Dwight, who is one of the best strength
De
and
Mayo?
condition. Yes, exactly.
Ah.
He's one of the SNC coaches. He's a good friend of Big Zaitona. And ironically, both of them employ a similar strategy in terms of strengthening the players and keeping them fresh. So I don't want to go as far as, saying that's the reason for the losses so far, because I think that UP strength and conditioning has changed to the point where I think they're going to be more fit towards the end of the season in 87 compared to the last few seasons. But it's a trend at least worth monitoring to see if it continues. Again, not confirming if it is true or not, but it's something worth monitoring moving forward. But I think, to answer the question I ask you, my one concern about them would be the 3-point shooting more than anything. Because if you take away the paint and you make them beat you with outside shots, you can give yourself a chance against all that talent, right? And this is a strategy we see a lot of head coaches employ when they're out talented. They don't have the firepower an opposing team does. They go to a zone defense and they're like, okay, we'll take our chances with you making or missing open shots. I've seen Spoelstra do this so many times with Miami when they faced Boston or a stronger opponent in the playoffs. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It worked for NU. I didn't watch the Ateneo game so much. I'm not sure. Did Ateneo go zone in that game against UP?
Pa, sorry that yun yung burn the tape game ko eh. So I don't think okay. I don't think so na they did it for majority. I think they just did it in 1 to 2 possessions and then UP scored. So they're like, oh, you gotta change it up.
Gotta change it
They
up,
did,
exactly.
but it wasn't a type of it's something na they really committed to it because UP was really scoring at the will
That's true.
during that game.
Dunking on them. Francis was having a dunk show. But yeah, concern level, I think for me, 1 to 5, I'd say 2.5 for UP. If you had to give a concern level, 1 to 5.
I mean, yeah, I would give it like 2 to 2.5. Same as you. Hindi naman ako tipong 3.5 to 4. It's just dito lang lumalabas yung mga times na you tend to slip up. For me, kasi may mga bases ako na even though you lose so bad in the regular season, okay lang. I have that kind of mentality and I know how capable UP is. So hindi talaga siya concerning. Ano lang talaga? Just a bad day.
Just a bad day. Well, I'll tell you
Just
another
a bad day.
team that had a bad day yesterday. That was the UE Red Warriors.
Oh yeah,
Let's
isa
look at
pa.
some of the let's look at
Yan
some
ang
of the
concerning.
statistics.
Yan ang mga 4, 4.5.
So they lost 59 to 51. They shot 22 out of 76 from the field. That's 29%. They took 22 3-point attempts, made only 3. That's 13.6%. They actually took care of the ball well, just 11 turnovers compared to FEU's 19, but they just could not capitalize on the mistakes that FEU was doing, and they could not capitalize on open shots. Now, let's look at the Adamson UE game. One of the ugliest games you'll ever see in college basketball ever. Adamson winning 45-37. No, that is not a halftime score. That is the final score. UE shot 15 of 57, 26.3%. 3 out of 24 from downtown, 12.5%, 20 turnovers for the Red Warriors. This traveling epidemic, I don't know what's happening, but it's really ruining the flow of some games. But you know what? If it's for the following the fundamentals of basketball, so be it. But back to UE. How much concern do you have for UE right now? Is this, since it's two straight games that they've kind of, for the, sorry if anyone gets offended, but kind of shit the bed against Adamson and FEU? 1 to 5, what's your concern level for them?
4, 4.5, 4 na lang for UE. This is bad. This is you're in a skid heading into the final four. You might even drop to 4. And if shit really, like if you lose your remaining games and then the teams below you, baka biglang mapa-step ladder pa kayo. It's not like, diba? Kaya pa sila ma-step ladder niyan because each team, alam ko some of the teams have 2 to 3 games left. Diba? What if matambakan kayo ng next game ng team na to? O next thing you know, mga-quotient na kayo. Next thing you know, you're 4. May identical record kayo with these teams, with this team below. You have to play step ladder. O di patay. Diba? Parang anything can go wrong na eh. From tayo rin kasi we kinda, ano tawag dito, Nabs, like, na-feel rin natin na kala ko sure na UE. Biglang, where did this come from, diba? And I think, could be the complacency, could be a lot of things, the 3-point shooting. That's what I've seen from the Red Warriors.
What's crazy is that UST can actually catch them now in the standings, right? I mean, UST is 5-6, UE is 6-5.
Tatlo pa.
Some people like to joke that UE is tanking to face LaSalle in the 1-4 matchup.
Actually, gusto ko makita yun. Gusto ko talaga makita yun. LaSalle UE, the storyline from there.
True. And you know what? UST UP is a good matchup. LaSalle versus UE would be a good Final Four matchup. Just in terms of what we've seen from the elimination round. I think UST matches up better against UP compared to DLSU. And then UE matches up better against DLSU compared to UP. What do you think?
Yeah, actually, ganda nga ng LaSalle UE. Well, UP UST. Like, not to offend UE fans. I'm just saying na the UE LaSalle game, just because of past games, parang mas may chance kayo against LaSalle more than UP. Yun lang talaga yun. I'm not wishing you guys to drop to 4th. It's kind of a compliment as well, knowing na kayang-kaya nyo LaSalle. Not kaya-kaya, sorry. Mas kaya nyo LaSalle more than more than UP. Just because of past games, just because of familiarity ng coaches as well. And historically, laban kayo eh. But again, do you think this is still your Final Four, Navs? Ito pa rin. You think this will hold?
I think so, yeah. I have a feeling.
Because it'll hold na.
I mean, let's look at the schedule. Let's play devil's advocate. Not really devil's advocate. Maybe to some degree.
What if matalo yung isa next 3? Patay ka, gago. 6 and... De, joke.
Sige, ganito. Let's predict the final standings based on the remaining schedule, which we have on the screen right now. So LaSalle is 10-1. Yep. They have FEU, UP, and NU left on their schedule. Do you think they beat UP a second time or no?
Feel ko bawi UP, bro.
Feel ko bawi UP, no?
Especially from the round 1, drama. Or it gets into the head of UP. They focus too much on trying to stick it to LaSalle. They lose, tumiwalag sila sa system nila. But feel ko kaya ng UP. For whatever reason, feel ko makakaisa sila dito sa second round against LaSalle.
I'm gonna go with you. I think for competitive sake, let's believe that UP is gonna beat LaSalle in this game. And by the way, for those wondering what would happen if LaSalle and UP end up with identical 12-2 records, there's no playoff to determine a tie for 1 versus 2. It's going to depend on quotient. Do we remember how many points LaSalle beat UP by in their first round matchup? LaSalle beat UP by
Oh.
12 points. So if UP is to get the 1 seed over LaSalle in case there's a tie, then UP would have to beat LaSalle by more than 12 points. I think
Uh-huh.
UP wins, but maybe not by more than 12. So I'm going to say LaSalle ends up with the 1 seed because I think they take care of business against FEU and NU as well. I think UP wins against LaSalle and then also wins against FEU and UE. So both teams end up with 12-2 records. LaSalle 1, UP 2. This is where it gets interesting. By the way, you have UP sweeping the rest of their games, Nico?
On paper. On
You,
paper,
you,
kaya nila. Pero
you
feel ko
think
kung
UE...
magkaka-trap game tayo dito, it's FEU. If you pick one trap game, I feel like kung matatalo man sila sa next 3, it's gonna be on FEU. UE Lasal, feel ko kaya nila. And then magugulat na tayo, talo sila sa FEU. That's just the drama maker in me with how I want things to shape up in the schedule. And the fact na FEU's been hot.
FEU has been on fire. By the way, VJ Pref, for those of you who don't know, leader of the Rookie of the Year race now, but also in the top 10 for MVP. Okay, let's go to UE. This UST game is gonna be so big, no?
Sobrang crucial niyan, man. Sobrang crucial
Wow.
niyan.
It's gonna be
Di
such a
ba,
big game.
tatambakan na sila ng Uste, round 1.
Yeah, UST blew them out so bad. That was when
Oh.
Manaytay was doing the kain celebration. Tong Carol was like,
That's iconic. That's iconic. I love that photo. Somebody
I
caught that. Like,
know.
oh shit, that's a thumbnail.
Me too, me too. That was so funny. But then also Tong Cara
15
outplayed
points,
Momo Wave.
70-55. Oh, isa pa yun. 70-55.
Yeah, exactly. Now, who ends up 3 based on the schedule? UE has UST Ateneo UP left. UST has NU UE Adamson. Oh, wow.
I feel like USD moves to 3, UE moves to 4.
I think so too. I don't know why. I just have that same feeling. I think UST ends up 3 because Ateneo is
Aangat
gonna be
USD.
motivated to end the season on a high note. You know, you're gonna hear stories about, oh yeah, we want to end the season strong for Chris Kuhn and Sean Kitev as our teammates. Bahay will have a game with like 20-8. Porter will have a game with like 12-10. That Ateneo game is a potential dangerous trap game here. And then the UP game, we
Pala
know.
Ateneo. Kiki pala Ateneo.
And by the way, shout out to Varsity Lifestyle for this awesome graphic. USTS NU UE Adamson. So I think it's UST 3 UE 4. FEU may UP and DLSU pa kasi and Ateneo. So you're thinking maybe at least 1 or 2 losses, probably 2. Adamson low key might have the best chance from the outsiders looking in
Yeah.
right now.
Pinaka
Diba?
mas, because FEU has a really tough schedule. Kahit Ateneo's the last team, alam mo yung Ateneo, bigla na lang, could just play spoilers.
Here's the thing for Ateneo. They're 3-8. So mathematically, they're not out of the Final Four race yet.
Pero they're dependent on the performance of the other teams.
First of all, they need to sweep all their opponents. FEU,
First
UE
of all.
Adamson, which is a lot to to ask for. And then you need UST to lose at least 2 of these games, and UE Adamson, which isn't impossible but a tough task. And you need UE lose all the remaining games. UST Ateneo UP, which I'm not saying is possible, but it's not impossible. And can you imagine what would happen if UE ends the season 6-8? Do you think how
That could
possible is
possibly
that to
happen.
you?
That could possibly happen.
1 to
Sabihin
10,
natin,
what's the likelihood of that happening?
7.5. Mataas. Ang lakas na mga kalab. Ateneo lang dyan yung Ateneo can play spoilers. Is it like Ateneo got blown out by... Actually, na-comeback nga ng UE Ateneo nung round 1, di ba? Ateneo had the lead nung mga last 4 or 5 minutes and then they blew it nung first round. I was there live. I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Kala ko sure win na eh. Round 1 Ateneo versus UE. And then I was like, shit, this looks like it's going to UE. Naalala ko sina Muling Tapam, we were making all of their shots. Fuck. So 7.5. Taas talaga. Scheduled loss yung sa UP. UP wants to end strong.
I think
Diba?
I think UE needs to win that game against UST. I think if
It
they win that
actually,
game
it could
against
determine.
UST,
It could determine the next two.
that's a throw the kitchen sink game against
Gagi,
UST.
delikado
Labas
eh,
mo
no?
na lahat. If you lose that game and then suddenly Ateneo wins against, let's say, FEU, and then Ateneo has the chance to make the final four and they'll be motivated to beat you, and then UP pa yung last game. Oh my god, man. That's where the danger and the stress come in.
Sa stress talaga sila. Kasi sabihin natin matalo sila sa Uste. Laki ng pressure nila to beat Ateneo, no? Yeah, dude. Like, imagine if they go 6-8. Nabigla na lang. What if sumingit si Adamson? Pwede sumingit eh. Natalo ng Adamson ng UST sa round 1, ha?
It's crazy.
Diba?
It's crazy. Anything can happen. Right now, it's not like the last few seasons where
Tinalo nga nila
yung
UST.
first and second seed are on the line. Because now I think it's UP LaSalle. It's gonna be LaSalle or UP or LaSalle. The 3 and 4, a lot of drama there though. A lot of drama. And it's interesting too because neither UE or UST are Final Four experienced teams, right? I mean, you look at UST, the only guy, Fortski lang ba yung may Final Four experience sa roster nila?
Paranada never got to the Final
Cabanero
Four.
hasn't been there yet. Manaytay? When did Manaytay make the Final Four? When he was in LaSalle? Yeah, but he was Team B, diba?
Counted ba yun?
Or was he?
Hindi counted.
Anyway, the point here is it's exciting because these are newcomers to the Final Four scene. So let's see how they perform. What's your Final Four prediction? You think it's UE3, UST4, or UST3, UST4? And then who, again, I think I've asked you this before, but I want to
Hirap
get your
nito.
updated thoughts. What chance do you give UST or UE or whoever makes those last Final Four seeds to potentially score an upset victory in the Final Four?
Wait, so you want me to give my 1 to 4 and then sino sa 3 and 4 yung more likely to do an upset?
Exactly, yes.
Okay, LaSalle, UP, uy nawala yung graphic. LaSalle, UP, Uste. Guys, this is an objective take, ha. Hindi to personal, ha. Hindi ako naman personal dito, ha. I'm gonna be basing this off the schedule, the strength of the schedule. Give me Adamson at 4. Just because Adamson has the ano tawag dito? Has the easier schedule.
Coaching,
On
easier
paper,
schedule, yeah.
has the easier schedule. What the hell?
Nagka-balloons ka.
Yun. Has the eas-
Someone from
has the
Adamson
easier
just sent you balloons, bro.
Okay. On paper, so doon ko lang be-base yung yung why I'm choosing Adamson the 4th spot. Nothing again, wala naman tayong personal shit dito. It's all what does the schedule give us, 'di ba? So,
Okay, random
pero
question.
this could
Okay,
change
go lang.
if
Go
UE
first,
beats
yeah.
if UE beats Uste in the next game, then it changes na naman. I have to, 'di ba? Kasi it's a game per game basis eh. Hindi naman siya tipong it's gonna stick till the end. It's more of what does it give us, 'di ba? Anong nangyari sa game na to? So, Adamson at 4. As of November 4, 2020. 2024. Nagka-timestamp lang ako dito.
Adamson at
2020,
4.
4 years ago.
By the way, we should shout out our guy Matthew Lee checking out the podcast on YouTube right now. Shout out to Matt. Thanks for tuning in, bro. And thanks to everyone tuning into this episode right now, whether on Playback, Facebook, or YouTube. Patrick Yu of NU is here. He's going to join us momentarily. Before we get to that next segment, Nico, final question. Let's go back to the main picture because we know these two teams will determine the season, most likely. Who do you have more confidence in right now? LaSalle, UP, or is it the same?
Winning the championship, LaSalle pa rin.
You have
Wait,
LaSalle.
what did I say last time? I forgot what I said last time. Pero as of right now, I feel I feel Lasal.
What makes the answer Lasal for you?
They
KQ?
they just stick. Yes. Well, I
Best
don't know. They're just
player?
more disciplined.
Best
They're
player
just
on the
more
court?
Di lang si KQ. They're just more disciplined with the sets that they want to run. Yun lang yun. It's more of mas ano lang talaga sila. The least likely team between the two to play out of their system is Lasal compared to UP. Pero it doesn't mean UP doesn't have a chance. It's literally neck and neck.
It's neck and
Yun
neck.
lang talaga yun. Mm-mm.
I think short edge to LaSalle right now because of the KQ factor for me. I think sometimes it comes down to having the best player on the court, and I think he would be the best player on the basketball court. And I feel like a lot of people agree as we asked that online. Anyway, that was a fun conversation. So just to recap, higher concern factor on UE right now compared to UP after this weekend's activities. And one of the main parts of this weekend was the phenomenal performance of Pat Yu, who entered the game against UP having just one three-pointer and then knocked down, I believe it was 5 out of 7 from downtown, was it? He was on fire. He had 17 points. That was a season high. Yes, 5 out of 7. And he is now here joining the podcast. Engineer Pat Yu. What's up, bro? How was practice today? I think practice today was a
Hello.
little more fun than usual, huh?
Yeah, it's the same approach.
Same approach. So no extra joy in your step today, no extra pumping your chest out a little bit around campus. I mean, you guys deserve it after last night's game.
Ano lang, nagpa-pizza lang si Coach at birthday niya eh.
Anong pizza?
Birthday niya
Anong pizza?
kahapon, birthday niya kahapon. SNR.
Hey, Pat, give us
Solid.
your. Pizza is actually a very popular topic in this podcast, Pat. Nico and I,
Shit.
once upon a time, did compare pizzas to UAAP teams, kind of gimmick. But anyway, give us your pizza rankings. Give us your top 5, man. Come on.
Oh, top 5.
Like, what do you mean?
Exactly. Just like if you had to, your favorite pizzas, top 5 in the Philippines, in Manila. So like Shakey's, Yellow Cab, Pizza, SNR, all of that. What's your top 5?
Okay, I got, there's one store in Cebu. It's Tony's Pizza. It's good. Crosta.
Try that.
Number 1, Crosta. Crosta's
Number
good.
1 mo, Crosta? Okay.
Yeah, Crosta number 1. Then the one in Cebu, it's Tony's Pizza. Yeah. And then siguro I'll go with SNR, then Shakey's, then Yellow Cab.
SNR, Shakey's.
Are you
Okay,
a
valid, very valid.
Are you a thin crust kind of guy, or do you like it
Thin crust. But I
Okay,
tried
okay.
the one in Costa. They had
Yeah.
square pizza. It's pretty thick, but it's really good.
Bro, people be sleeping on Geno's though. Have you
I
guys tried
haven't tried
Geno's?
that.
Oh, Geno's is
I love
good, man.
Geno's.
Pizulu too. People be sleeping on Pizulu. But anyway, we have engineer Pat you now. So someone asked this in our community chat, and I want to ask you right away. What's harder, a practice under Coach Jeff or taking the board exams?
Ah, syempre yung boards. Ano na yan eh. It's life. It's ano na eh. It's outside basketball. So it's really tough. Yung all topics na pinag-aralan mo for 4.5 years just for one exam, it's yung nakaka-pressure rin.
So
It's real
after
tough.
this is your last UAP season, or do you have one more?
No, it's my last.
It's your last. So before we get to the basketball side of things, what are your plans post UAP? I mean, are you gonna pursue engineering? Do you have a business you want to put up? What do you plan to do?
Yun lang ang nakakatawa eh. Before the game of UP, I had a chance to go home for one day. Siguro last game namin
Cebu.
Saturday. Yeah, I had the chance
Yeah.
to go. Kasi break kami eh. Di nila alam nila mga coaches na nakauwi pala ako no Sunday. I had a talk siguro with my dad na sabi ko na ready na ako mag-work after. So maybe
Work
that
talaga.
siguro na clear na yung mind ko, na yung pressure ko na parang nag-enjoy ko na lang yung laro talaga. Siguro yun isang reason na nalabas ko rin yung laro ko. So kasi nung first few games siguro sobrang pressured ako kasi gusto ko talaga mag-pro dati. Dalawang isip ako saan ako after the season. So it's been tough. Yeah, for me, I might go work na and pursue my career in engineering.
So no pro career in the horizon. You're not thinking
Oh,
about that right now.
syempre dati tinithink ko, pero we'll see. Pero I'm leaning more on towards working.
I see, I see. Well, I mean, you're an engineer and there's a chance you might make more in your field of work rather than being a basketball player. Wala pang sakit sa katawan, right? Well, I'm sure
Wala
you'll
pa
miss the walang sakit sa katawan, no, for sure. But I'm sure you'll miss the game, especially games like
Yes, for sure.
yesterday. Pat, what went right for you guys in that game against UP? Would you say, because I saw you guys using the zone defense a lot, and I felt that forced UP to take more three balls rather than attack the paint more. Was that an area of focus, kind of limit UP from getting to the rim and force them to be more of a jump shooting team?
Yeah, I would really say that I'd give credit to our coaches, Coach Jeff, and our scouting, and everyone na yun pinagtutukan na talaga nila. And yun, napagsa kami sa zone, and it's really a big part. Siyempre, yung knowing UP, they're a fast break team, so we really have to run back.
For sure, for sure. When did you realize na, kasi, I mean, in college basketball, we know naman na, okay, even if you build a lead, and you having played college basketball for a while, you know this, even if lumamang ka ng malaki, alam mong hahabol yung team, more likely than not hahabol sila,
Yeah.
right? You guys have been on both ends of that. Kayo yung humahabol, kayo yung hinabol. But yesterday, UP just, I don't think they got it down to single digits once you guys went up by double digits at all. What was working so well? Was it just mainit kayo from outside? You guys were shooting well? Was it the defense? Was it the missed free throws of UP, the turnovers? Why was it hard for UP not only to come back and try to win the game, but come back and make it competitive?
For me naman, it's not about the shots we made or like I made. For me, sobrang ganda ng defense namin talaga. Yung kudos to my teammates. Sila, special mention to nung nag-step up si Kurt Persano, sila Leonard Santiago, sila Don Lim. Grabe kasi fall trouble na nga yung big man namin, and knowing UP, they're really big. So then what really went well for us was our defense. So yeah.
Absolutely, your defense was so well. Is it different to play at UST compared to Moore or Araneta? Do you think that was a factor as well? The fact that when you play at UST, it feels more like the gyms you guys practice on every day compared to the bright lights of a bigger arena? Or when it gets to basketball, when you actually get on the court, it's not really that big of a difference?
Siguro iba kasi nakaka-shoot ako sa UST. But kidding aside, kidding aside, hindi na.
Nice.
At first siguro,
Steph
iba,
Curry siya
iba yung,
kahapon eh. Sa
Oo
mga
nga,
tira
no?
bro.
Fantasy
Steph
guy
Curry,
ka ha.
27
Top
footer.
pick eh. May UAP Fantasy League. Anyway, go on, Pat.
iba yung siguro, yung, syempre yung venue, parang mas dark siguro sa UST. Pero once you step in the court, wala na yung mga yan eh. Just play basketball na. So, yun, it's pretty much the same lang kasi you're playing against, teams in UAP, and siguro, kalaban mo lang sarili mo.
That's true. I like that. Kalaban mo lang ang sarili mo. Nico, go for it. Any questions for Pat?
Ano ba mga questions for Pat? Natanong mo na lahat eh. yung mga questions for Pat, it's just more of, kung may nag-offer sa yung pro teammate, MPBL, or a chance to be drafted sa PBA, kung may nag-offer, will that change your plans or you're like, hindi, sorry. Gusto ko talaga maging engineer. Or, would you consider it kung may nag-offer? Kung may sure contract na ibibigay sa'yo?
Sure contract.
Sure contract. Bigyan, ito,
Yan,
2 years.
pag-isipan ko talaga.
Meron ka sa amin.
Pero,
Let's say
Pag-isipan
2-3
mo.
years.
Pero-
correct.
pero pag-isipan mo kasi na pagpapasok ka sa construction, hindi rin na agad yung impact mo. Siguro 2 to 3 years rin yan bago ka magbigay ng contracts. Yung impact sa, so siguro, yun, dun muna talaga sa work. Kasi kailangan na rin ng tulong ng parents ko,
talaga.
yung brother ko. Pero,
Understood.
pag-isipan ko rin yan.
For sure.
You-
Try niya rin pag-isipan,
For sure.
no? Pwede ba ito i-mix? Kaya mo ito pagsabay? Sure, isipin niya rin yan, sure.
Your brother had a similar dilemma a few years ago, no? Kind of to decide whether to go play pro or pursue interest off the court. Was it the same also? Was it the same situation that you're facing now?
I think decided na rin talaga siya. Feel like he wanted to try something new na.
Of course, of course. At
Ako,
least yung
nagtanong nga rin ako sa kanya eh. I asked him for advice kung ano man. Sabi niya na, I think it's better na to start and enjoyin ko na lang yung natira kong games. Sabi nga ng dad ko, enjoy na lang.
Well, buti na lang sumabog
Finish
ka
strong,
yesterday. Considering a few games are left in your career, and that's one memory to remember. Let's get to some questions here from our spectators right now. From Tonyo, how did you celebrate after the demolition of UP yesterday?
Sumama lang kami, kumain lang kami with the management ng NU ako. Kasi parang family ko na rin sila C family. Doon, kumain lang kami sa podium.
Awesome.
Dinner lang kami.
Got this. JP wants to know, would you be interested in broadcasting like other notable engineer student
Pag in-invite
athletes?
ka. Oo.
Baka pwede ka mag-broadcast sa UAP games in the future. Would you be game for that?
We'll see, mahihayin kasi ako eh. I don't see myself in that aspect, but we'll see.
Baka may catchphrase ka din na pwede gamitin if you become a broadcaster, right? Or he could just be like, that's how I used to shoot. Okay. Question here. One underrated fact about the NU campus.
Before kasi lang yan eh. Manila, NU lang yan. But ngayon, nakikita mo na nasa iba't iba na. You've got one sa Bacolod, sa NU, o sa Cebu. It's like spreading around the Philippines na.
Exactly. NU is getting bigger. I think in Cebu also. May Cebu branch na ba yung NU or wala pa?
It's ongoing.
I heard there's like a big arena gonna open in Cebu also, courtesy of yung friends niyo from SM, right? That should be a big one. People should watch out for that. Okay, last question here from our spectators. Why NU? How would you sell? Let's say a blue chip recruit asks you in the future, why NU? How would you sell NU to that recruit na pumunta siya at maging Bulldog?
Isa dyan is you'll find family in NU as long as you're gonna be loyal. The management sila. Manny will always be there for you outside basketball. Yun nga, import nga namin dati 100, tas kung may really loyal to the school, mag-consider na kayo ng family.
Of course. I like how you brought up yung import yung FSA nyo because ang aga into the season injured si Mo, right? Like 5 minutes, I think, into the first quarter of your opening game, he tears his ACL. And Mo had been playing so well for you guys in off-season tournaments the last 2 years. Pinoy Liga, Phil Oil, as in the potential was there on both sides of the floor. That's why, to me, if he didn't get injured, you guys would be a Final Four team right now. You'd be there with UE and UST as a Final Four contender. How often do you think about what could have been? And don't tell me you guys don't think about it because I'm sure you players think about it when you guys are alone or when you're just reflecting on the season na, man, kung hindi na injured si Mo, we would be here, we could be better than this team. How often do you think about that?
Always. Siguro, sobrang sakit lang na nawala. I was in the court then. Pagpasok ko pa lang, siguro 30 seconds. And first possession ko, drive si KQ, pakbagsak yung import namin. Gulat ako. Hinawakan niya yung knee niya. Pagtingin ko sa replay, wala, positive to na out na siya season. Kaya ever since then, sobrang sayang na. Siguro, if he was here, I would say na malaking chance namin na makabot ng championship. As, di ba, kita niyo naman yung si Mo. Yun, malaking chance sana. Hindi naman alam na may injured si Mo. Pwede rin sana si Omar, but yun nga. You can only pick one.
When did you guys come to terms with it na parang, kasi diba at first may shock factor yan. Na, oh my God, wala na tayong FSA. Pero parang at first, you're medyo in disbelief pa no? Na, and then the news comes and the news breaks and then you have an idea, okay, all Filipino tayo the rest of the season. but it's not sinking in just yet. No? So when did it sink in for your team, and when did the mindset turn from sayang na injured siya to this is what we've been dealt with, this is our reality, we have to move forward?
Actually, right there and then during the Lasal game, sinasabi na namin sa sarili naman na it's it's a big chance na we're gonna go all Filipino this season. Kaya siguro bigay ito ng Lord sa amin na challenge na gotta show what we're really made of. And ito yung opportunity for us to show na to grow na kaya namin kahit walang FSA. Pero mahirap eh. It's really hard. Matagal kami nag-adjust. Yun lang siguro yung sayang sa amin na matagal kami naka-adjust na nawala yung import namin. It's hard to have just like 4 legitimate bigs. Yung 3 lang malaki sa amin, tapos minsan mag-fall trouble pa. Kaya yung kapon nga, nakita mo yung nasa loob ng court, puro guards na. So,
small
it's really
ball.
tough to play with that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, maybe it works
Then,
because you guys blew out your opponents. Maybe you guys should do it all the time. Diba? Technically, you guys aren't out of the Final Four race yet. Diba? You still have a chance. You're 3-8. No, 3-8 more or 3-7. Sorry, I forget right now.
3-8.
3-8. Okay, so you're still there. In mahirap, obviously, but you're still there. At the same time, however, in the post-game press conference yesterday, you mentioned with Coach Jeff and Jake na yung focus nyo isn't about the Final Four now. It's about ending the season strong, right? So how are you balancing that? Na parang, okay, we just want to end the season strong no matter what. For our seniors, it's my last season. This is my last time playing college basketball, maybe organized basketball. Compared to, pero may chance pa mag-Final Four eh. How are you parang, what's your perspective on all of that?
As what all Coach Jeff tells us na during practice na huwag niyo muna isipin yung Final Four. Just enjoy. Finish lang natin yung season strong para sa inyo community, para sa management. Give back lang kami. Parang laro lang talaga namin. Finish strong lang. And yun, kung darating man yan, blessing na yan kay Lord. Kaya huwag na namin isipin yun. Tanggal pressure na yan para mag-enjoy na nga kami.
Enjoy, that's the key word. Nico, go for it, bro.
Which one?
No, I meant if you have anything you want to ask Pat.
Okay. Kalawi, ano pa rin, ha? Ano ba dito? Matatanong kay Pat. I think I'm good, bro. Like, you keep getting my questions. The questions kasi meron din ako dito. Nagko-cross out ako dito ng mga questions eh.
Sige, I have an idea.
Where do you plan to...
I'll go for it. Okay,
no. Where do you plan to get a job? So Manila or Cebu? You're going back to Cebu?
I'm gonna work under my dad. I'm gonna start from zero. Magta-training ako. Like as siguro may company na rin kami. I'll be in Iloilo. And I'll really start from zero. Parang walang boss. Parang ano lang.
Yes.
Kung ano
From
talaga yung i-treat sa bago. Yeah.
That's the right thing to do. Absolutely. Okay, Nico, I have an idea. I'm gonna ask you a question, and then your answer, we're gonna see if Pat agrees or not. Okay?
Oh, sige. Okay. Shit. I don't know what to.
If Mo Diazana did not get injured, where would NU be in the standings right now? So Nico will answer, and then Pat is going to give his take on your answer after that.
Naturally, he's gonna say number 1. I mean, he's gonna say. He's gonna say, yeah, I think we're just number 4.
You never
These
know.
Players are so competitive, man. Like,
bro,
these guys are gonna say they're either
stay
1
grounded. Or 2. Okay, but anyway, go for it, Nico. What's your answer? Then we'll see what Pat says.
I would have felt like they would be number 4. They would be number 4 or 3. Swap with either UST. 3 or 4 sila. So, UEU matatanggal sa Final Four.
I think they would be 3 with a chance to get 2 if Mo was healthy. Pat, do you agree with us or no? What's your take?
I agree with you, Sir Naveen. Yung 3 and 2. Pero sabi nga ni Coach, hindi rason yung mawawala yung import nyo. Kaya, yun.
That's
Kung saan
true.
kami ngayon, doon kami ngayon.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let's get to some questions here.
The fantasy game.
Any Jeff Napa stories JP wants to know? What's your Jeff Napa story, bro?
Coach Jeff Napa story. I've been together with him for so long na. Yung team B pa lang ako, first year ko dito, siya yung coach ko. Si Coach Chabay pa yung ano nila yun eh. Siguro Coach Jeff Napa story lang. Siguro yung mag-ensayo kami, tapos sobrang galit siya, pinapauwi na kami. Siguro may times na talaga na abot ng ganun. Pinapauwi na yung team.
Wait. Pero isn't that kind of fun for you guys? Maaga kayo uuwi in the practices and
Hindi,
early?
syempre, gusto namin na matapos yung ensayo na maganda. Na, syempre, kasi confident, ay parang part yan sa confidence mo coming into the game eh.
True.
Yung ganda ensayo namin. What's gonna happen, practice is gonna happen in the game eh.
What's the shortest amount of time you guys practiced before nagalit siya and he was like, all of you go home? Like 1 hour, 2 hours, 10 minutes, what?
Hindi, di ko lang i-disclose yung all details talaga. Pero nag-rates kami nun. Rates yun. Pagpaba namin. May nalaman siya. Pinauwi kami lahat. Hindi pa kami nag-start ng practice.
May nalaman? What could
past season siya yun. Past season yan eh.
May
so,
nalaman siya?
May nalaman siya na
Off the record.
Wait lang. Okay, don't tell us ano nalaman niya, but give us an idea. Hint na lang. Konting hint lang.
May ginawa yung siguro isang player namin na syempre di maganda tapos nag-a-affect sa team. Kaya yun.
Okay.
Nalaman niya.
Okay.
Uwi kayo lahat.
Uwi kayo. Hindi kayo binawian the next practice? Hindi kayo binawian?
Hindi naman. Pero after nun,
hindi kayo pinahirapan din.
Pinabalik kami, nag-usap-usap na kami.
So the same day, bumalik din kayo?
I think. May ilang beses kasi nangyari yan eh. Hindi ko na maalala.
Okay, we have a comment here. May nagsabi, ilang tumbler na daw nabasag ni Coach Jeff Napa. Is that true?
Marami rin. May time nga na sabi siya, di ko lang ito matapon kasi mahal to, cellphone ko eh. Pero syempre, tough love yan as a coach eh. Syempre, pag dyan ka na matakot kung di ka pinapagalitan ng coach, no? I'm really happy to have him as my coach.
Question here from JP. Who's the funniest guy in the team?
Funniest guy? Si Vince Reyes, yung galing sa Adamson. Kaso di pa siya
yung rookie niyo.
Rookie naman.
Wow.
Syempre, walang hiya-hiya. Pasok pa lang siya, parang may dami nang sinasabi. Ganun. Kaya masaya na kasama siya.
Hindi ba siya Team A this season? Hindi siya kasama sa official lineup?
Hindi siya kasama kasi parang sinabi niya kay Coach Jeff na parang hindi pa siya ready. Kaya parang step down siya.
You know, interesting no? Because moving forward, it's not like hindi na kayo magaling. Kasi I think may 1 year pa si Jake. May 1 or 2 years pa si Jolo. And then Steve Nash, may 1 year pa or 2 years pa. We'll have to double check. Reinhard, incoming 3rd year. Tabol, incoming 2nd year. Vince, incoming 1st year. And Mo, hopefully everything goes well. He's back. So even as you leave the team, I'm not sure if Padrones and Palacielo, may seasons pa ba sila? We'll have to double check on that then. But Pat, no, even as you leave the team, do you feel na moving forward, the Bulldogs are still going to be competitive and in the Final Four picture?
Yeah, for sure. Excited nga ako manood ng next season nila eh. I feel like something's really gonna happen for them next season. A team to look for job pa rin.
Nice. Final Four?
Wala ka balak mag-coach?
Kasi,
like sabihin natin, offer ka na mag-coach in the future. Wala.
passion ko yan eh. Siyempre, since passion ko talaga yung basketball field ko, di ko talaga malet go yan. Interested din talaga ako. Siyempre.
Oh, Coach Pat, bagay.
2K player ka ba, bro? Do you play 2K?
Paminsan-minsan lang.
Ay,
Sila pag maglalaro kami sa dorm.
Sino pinakamagaling sa 2K sa team?
Ngayon, si Don Lim siguro. Hindi pa ako nakatalo
Ooh.
kay Don Lim eh.
Okay. Well, yes, the NU Bulldogs still have a bright future ahead with all the talent that you guys have. No, but also you have 3 games left. So for you, aside from trying to win these games and playing good, what else do you want to accomplish as you say goodbye to your college career?
Just leave with no regrets. Play lahat. Just enjoy. Kasi this might be my last 3 games of my career. So I just have to give it all.
That's
And
great.
syempre, importante mag-enjoy talaga.
Mag-enjoy. That's the goal. Sana wala nang tumbler masira, no?
Yeah.
Nico, any last questions or anything you want to say before we let Pat go?
I think I'm good. I think my coaching question was the last one here. Naisip ko.
Got you. Okay, let's ask this question because this has been asked a few times now. So last question here from the spectators. What's your advice for future student athletes like you on how to balance being an engineering major or just a student and also an athlete at the same time? It sounds easy in theory to do it. You go to practice, mag-aral ka, but there's so many things in between that can make it difficult sometimes, 'di ba? So given all the challenges and everything that comes with being both a student and an athlete, what's your best piece of advice in terms of handling it all and still being able to succeed like you have over these last few years?
Yung pinaka-important dyan, time management. And syempre, kahit ano mangyari, huwag ka susuko sa sarili. And you just really have to work hard always. Kasi it's not easy. It's not easy to balance studies and basketball. Hindi lang sa engineering. Feel ko, lahat naman na experience yan. So, you really just have to really manage your time well. Stick to your priorities kung ano mas kailangan gawin ngayon, ano mas important gawin. And yun, just never give up. Isa rin yun sa yung goal ko before I leave. Kung di ko man lang mabigay yung championship sa inyo, at least be motivation to other student athletes or
Interesting.
students na kaya mo.
JP says, congratulations to Pat's men's badminton teammates because of NU's men's badminton team. Of course, the UAAP is beyond basketball.
Yeah.
So thank you, JP, for that. Last question from me, Pat. Let's say na hindi nga kayo makapasok ng Final Four. Which team are you rooting for to win the championship? If not NU.
I go with underdogs. Siguro, UE siguro.
Ooh, UE.
If di man lang kami.
I like that.
Para
Root
maiba
for the
naman.
underdogs. Correct. Maiba naman. That was the tagline in 2014, the last time NU won a championship. And hey, they made it happen.
Maiba
right?
naman.
So, who knows?
Pero,
Who knows?
di pa naman tapos yung season namin. So, we'll see.
True.
Oh.
True that. And I mean, and not to overemphasize anything, but you guys just did beat UP by a big margin. So who knows? Maybe a late season charge for the Bulldogs in the horizon, led by engineer Pat Yu and he's Steph Curry like 3-point shooting.
Hindi
Baka
ko
yung
naman
Final
magagawa
Four
yan
sa
kundi sa teammates ko eh.
But no, Pat, thanks so much for joining us, bro. Really appreciate it. Great game against UP. Great performance by NU. And we wish you all the best. We wish you good luck with everything coming up. And
Thank you.
surprise
Thank you
us
for
a
having
few
me.
more times before your season ends. Maybe a few more hot performances here or there. Kaya ba?
Kaya.
Nice.
Thanks for having me
nice.
here, guys.
Always welcome, bro. Thank you so much. Appreciate it, bro. All right, that was engineer Pat Yu. Nico, bright future for him, huh? I think he's gonna have a bright future. I know that he's gonna be working with his dad, but if he does pursue something in basketball, I think that kaya niya. I think the sky is the limit for him.
Yeah, I mean, very career-oriented guy siya. He knows what he wants, and that's gonna, what do you call this? He's really gonna go places, no doubt.
Absolutely. And Nico and I are back on Basket Pinas on Tuesday, November 5. We'll be talking about what has been an exciting NBA season so far. His Warriors are doing very well. Despite an early injury to Steph Curry, despite the loss of Klay Thompson, the Warriors are doing their thing. And they're starting to look like the old school low key Warriors once again. So exciting times. Are you excited for this NBA season out of nowhere? Are your hopes up again?
Fourth seed, Golden State. Let's get it.
Ay! Warriors is the fourth seed. Okay, we'll see how that goes. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make sure you guys listen to Nico's podcast, the 6 man podcast, and make sure to follow his work on TikTok and other social channels as well. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining me, Nico. Appreciate it, bro.
Anytime, Navs.